What is up, guys? This is your boy Andy Matrix, and today we are going to talk about a really popular Netflix show called Sex Education. And if you're wondering what the show is about, it is exactly as the title suggests: sex education. Basically, a bunch of teenagers in a British school, regular normal teenage life. They go to school, and the main character, which is your typical like meek type of anime romance comedy main character. Yeah, so I can kind of see why they will want to turn this into a manga, but we all know exactly why a lot of these companies are moving towards anime and manga, right? And if it's created in the West, it is not a manga, it is a comic book. When I first heard this news, I was wondering, like, why are they trying to turn it into a manga? Right? I mean, why not just a comic book? Oh, wait, that's right, because it wouldn't sell any copies. That's why. You guys know I like to trash the Western comic book scene, right? Mainly in America and Canada, because it's true. I mean, think about it, it's true. Like, comic books in the West are basically going down the drain, but it's mainly the superhero stuff like Marvel and DC, while manga, every freaking genre of manga is outselling the living crap out of Marvel and DC and other comic books, right? But anyways, guys, before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the notification bell for future notifications. I talk about anime, manga, video games, geek culture, and Japanese culture. If you're into any of that stuff, make sure to subscribe, baby. Now, what is sex education? Okay, so a quick summary in case you've never watched the Netflix show, okay? Because it's very funny, and it's about these kids in a British school. The main character's name is Odysee, and he's basically a virgin. And you know how teenage stories are. It's all about getting laid. When you're 17, 18, and the boys in high school, they're always trying to lose their virginity, trying to see who can lose their virginity, fast. But in this case, the main character, Odysee, he's this very shy, meek guy who has trouble with the ladies and who can't get it up. Seriously, he can't get it up. I'm not joking. Right? So this is actually a very funny series. It's actually very funny. And like always, there's this girl that likes him, but she doesn't want to admit that she likes him because they're in high school. And at that age, kids are stupid, right? They make stupid decisions. I know I was one of those kids, right? To be young and in love. But anyways, why do people like it? It's because it's funny, and it talks about real world problems, right? It talks about real world problems that people go through. Teenagers going through puberty, having their first, getting laid, masturbation, and all this stuff, right? But it's obviously much more deeper than that. There's some LGBT stuff in there, and you're probably thinking, well, is this show woke? And honestly, I don't want to say that it's WOKE, right? I don't want to say that it is. Maybe a little bit, but I think it's just no. I'm just gonna say I don't think it's WOKE. It's a good show. It's very funny. It's a very popular show, and I could see why they want to turn it into a manga, a romance comedy manga, like My Dress Up Darling. And I can kind of see Otis, the main character, as Gojo and Marin Kitagawa, and that's your typical story. It's basically this meek, nerdy dude ends up with a hot chick. Somehow, something brings them together, right? So I can kind of see the manga element to it, right? The anime element to it. But at the same time, it's like this is going to piss off a lot of anime fans because of how the West sees anime manga, or rather, better yet, what the Western companies are trying to do with anime and manga. Like, instead of a manga, why can't it be just a comic book? Oh, wait, that's right, because comic books don't really sell. I'm sorry. I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry, okay? But, yes. So, And yeah, they're just trying to capitalize on manga and find more things to, you know, find an excuse or a reason why to turn some American things into manga. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some things like the Deadpool manga was actually really good, right? But I mean, that doesn't mean that we should try and turn, you know, every other, you know, intellectual property into an anime or manga, because not everything fits. You know, instead of turning it into a manga, why don't we build the West? You know, why don't we build the West and invest into making better comic books that people actually want to freaking read, instead of giving them garbage like Marvel and DC have been doing for the past, like, what, 6 years? Or actually maybe more. One of the main problems that anime fans have with Western companies is the attitude that they have towards manga, right? Because they don't really understand the media, right? They don't really understand manga and anime, right? It has a culture, it has an entire culture behind it. And I think a lot of people are just apprehensive about this because, number one, is Netflix. We know it's a Western company, and we don't like it when Western companies start touching our anime and manga, because anime and manga is one of the last things in entertainment that we have that has not been touched by political correctness, right? It has not been touched by political correctness. And what do you think? Make sure to comment below. Tell me what you think. And subscribe to the channel, guys. Hit the notification bell for future notifications. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is your boy, Andy Matrix. Godspeed.